I'm Ken Schaefer, and I'm here to talk about all things related to men's sexual health. Health is probably it's fundamental to sexual health. They're not separate things. They are intertwined. If you are having problems with your sexual health, if you have erectile dysfunction or prostate issues or hormonal imbalances or whatever the case may be, there's an underlying health issue. Now, not everyone with a health issue is going to have ED or prostate problems or hormonal problems, but most people who have ED or prostate issues or hormonal problems have something going on in their bodies. They may not know about it, and quite often it's undiagnosed. The modern medical system, unfortunately, is not very good about keeping us healthy. They keep us from being sick, but there's a difference between not being sick and being healthy. To be healthy, you need to be thriving. You need to have your body optimized as much as possible. You need your hormone levels optimized. You need your vitamin levels and mineral levels optimized. You need good NO2 level. I mean, I could go on and on with a long list. But in order to improve your sexual health, you need to improve your health. And of course, that hasn't changed since the beginning of time. The way you start doing that, the low hanging fruit is exercise, diet, sleep. Those are the fundamentals. You need adequate sleep. In fact, for men having problems with testosterone, that's when you produce your testosterone, is when you're asleep. So, sleep, diet, you need a good diet. You literally are what you eat. And the industrialization of food production has unfortunately diminished the quality of the food that we eat. Even if you're trying to eat very healthy, it's much harder to get the nutrients you need from your food than it used to be. The soils have been depleted. The way they produce meat in industrialized settings, the cows and the chickens or whatever, the pigs, they're not healthy, they're not fed right. So when we eat them, we're getting fewer nutrients because they're nutrient depleted themselves. Okay, exercise. You don't have to be a marathon runner. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to spend hours and hours at physical exercise. If you do a little bit of exercise consistently, that's going to get you most of the way there. There are many forms of exercise. There are many advantages and disadvantages to each form. I always recommend to people do a variety of exercise, just like I recommend for food, eat a variety of foods, particularly fruits and vegetables. For exercise, you need to do a variety, and you don't have to do the same thing all the time. The thing is, get yourself moving. Of course, there's cardio, and then there's strength training, and there's HIIT training. There's all kinds of training. The most important exercise is the one that you're actually going to do. If you're going to walk, if you're going to run, run. If you're going to mix and match and do combinations of exercise, great. If you start doing an exercise that you hate or an exercise program that you hate, you're not going to stick with it. All right. So, what else is there about health that I haven't discussed? I've discussed sleep, diet, exercise. There's an unfortunate reality of living in the modern world as we are surrounded with toxins. Some of the toxins come from the natural world. Mold is a source of toxin. But we live in conditions where there are lots of artificial chemicals, and our bodies do not know how to deal with most of those chemicals. Some of those chemicals, like plastic and the stuff they spray on our food to keep the insects off, those are called endocrine disrupting compounds, EDCs for short. And what they do is they mimic estrogen, and that gets into our system and begins to mess with our hormonal systems. And there's a reason why men are having problems with testosterone in record numbers. There's a reason why men and women are both having problems with infertility. at a rate that's increasing at about 1% a year. One of the reasons seems to be these endocrine disrupting compounds. So try to eat organic to avoid the pesticides. Get all the plastic and food out of your kitchen and your bathroom. Be very careful about the personal products you use in your bathroom. You need to find soaps that aren't loaded with chemicals. Whatever you spread on your body, you should be very wary of the chemicals in there. But going back to the kitchen, don't store your food in plastic and don't ever cook in plastic. And if you microwave something in plastic, throw it away because you have just pumped that food full of these EDCs that I've been talking about. This is a big subject. Whole books have been written on this, and I'm only scratching the surface. But this is a big part of keeping yourself healthy. Another part of health, avoiding vices like cigarettes, drinking, drugs, whatever. If you have any kind of substance abuse problem, you need to address that. It's going to affect your health in a big way. If you're drinking too much or smoking too much or taking drugs and you're not able to control it, you have a problem. And that should be your top priority. If you have an addiction, you need to deal with your addiction before it kills you or undermines your health. Okay, so what have I covered here? Diet. Eat lots of fruits and vegetables. Eat a variety. Try to make it organic. And yeah, a couple other things I would recommend. Consider intermittent fasting. I do intermittent fasting and it's helped me a great deal. If you're going to pick a specific diet, the diet that is consistently rated the best is the Mediterranean diet. I don't believe that there's one diet that's perfect for everybody, but the Mediterranean diet just seems to be generally good for most people. Okay, exercise. Ideally, you want to do a variety of exercise. You don't have to do hours and hours of exercise every week. If you did 20 to 30 minutes of exercise every other day, that's going to do a lot for your body. Do whatever it is that you will stick with. And if you're a disciplined person, I consider myself a disciplined person, I'll do things that I don't necessarily enjoy because I enjoy the benefits, but not everyone's like that. So do something you will stick with and do it regularly and consistently. Okay, so food, diet, exercise. I also talked about personal products that we put on our bodies. Try to get natural products, not loaded with chemicals. And that means finding some manufacturer of soap out there that has natural soap and not chemical laden soap like most of the stuff you get in the grocery store. The other thing was endocrine disrupting compounds. I don't know why I always have trouble with that word. Avoid them. The best way to avoid them is eat organic, get plastic out of your kitchen and your bathroom, and avoid artificial chemicals in your personal care products, that kind of thing. Addictions or anything that you're not in control of. Cigarette smoking. Fortunately, cigarette smoking is way down. When I was young, it seemed like every adult I knew smoked. I heard recently it's like 11% of the adult population. It's down from like over 50% when I was a kid. Alcohol, of course, alcohol is poison. And I'm not telling you not to drink, but limit your drinking. Everyone tries to tell you what's the safe amount you can drink per day. The safe amount is zero. People make excuses. A little bit will help your. Don't pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to it. Any alcohol you take is going to be damaging to your health, not beneficial. It doesn't matter whether it's red wine, white wine, beer, or hard alcohol. It's all poison. I'm not saying I don't drink. I do enjoy an occasional beer. I used to drink much more than I do now. I never had a drinking problem, but I used to enjoy beer a lot more. And as I got older, it caught up with me. Beer is estrogenic and it has a lot of calories, and I was putting on weight. And now I only drink when I go out or for special occasions. And I don't really miss it all that much. Let's see, cigarette smoking, drinking, drugs, of course, drugs. Ever since I was a kid, everyone's been talking about how bad drugs are. And it's true. Taking drugs that are not prescribed is a really bad idea. Unfortunately, a lot of people really enjoy doing that. Of course, there are people who can handle it and can do it recreationally and in moderation, and they're probably fine. But for a lot of people, it turns into an addiction and they lose control of their lives and their health suffers. So until the next video, thank you for watching and goodbye.